I think this is as a salesperson, I actually would put this in my top book. Hey everybody, it's James in the lab. This is the first video that we are filming. I'm so friggin' excited to start this off. Really excited because number one, there's a lot of people that have been asking me a number of questions of things really that I'm doing on a daily basis. You know, at the end of the day, I started my own business back in, I would say June or July. Hangry Group Inc. Shameless, I guess, plug right now, which is a digital interactive menu in the GTA. We're launching at the end of February. And one of the biggest goals that I had was really documenting what I do on a daily basis. And one of the things that one of my buddies said was, if you're trying to document things, why don't you just record yourself? And I said, sure, you know what? If people aren't tired of hearing my voice by now, then I'll definitely do that. So really, this is the first episode of James in the Lab. Like I said, so excited. Today's first video is actually brought to you by Grant Cardone. I'm actually doing a book review, The 10X Rule. So the 10X Rule is the very first book that I've read of 2020. It took me about 6 days to finish. I friggin' loved it. It was to be honest, one of my favorite books that I've read to date, just because of its application. You know, to be honest, I've read quite a number of different books that have helped in business, such as How to Win Friends and Influence People, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, etc., etc., etc. But this book was actually the one that got me most interactive with what it was doing. So really how I'm going to do this book review is I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's about. I'm going to talk about what I liked about the book, what I didn't like about the book, and probably a small summary and rating out of 10. So, what is it about? The 10X Rule is predominantly about how to rise to success, what you need to do to be successful. So, Grant Cardone started a multitude of different businesses, everything from real estate empires, sales businesses, etc. And it's really talking about his journey, how he got all of those businesses to be so successful. And the one main rule that stayed consistent in every single one of his businesses is 10x action. So really applying that 10x action to any business, it's so applicable. I loved it. And a lot of the different business practices I actually applied to my own business at Hangry. So that's really the biggest thing. What did I like about it? I like the fact that I got to write in it. There's little stuff inside. So I'm going to open the book. There's little stuff inside that you get to actually answer a couple of different questions. So I'm on chapter 1. Let's see what's the first one. So it says, what are the 2 parts of the 10x rule? And it's really giving you guys like an area where you can write down each of your answers. I apologize, my writing sucks. But really, there's a lot of different questions here, really doing a lot of self-reflection. It gave me a lot of time to reflect on what was I doing that wasn't helping bring my business to that real success, bringing it to high results. So it really made me question a lot of the different practices that I've been doing as a sales leader. And I'd been able to apply a lot of the different things that I read in the 10X rule to my sales team. To give you guys a little bit of a story here, in 2020, my sales expectation for each of my guys was to really do one demo a day, so one demonstration a day, to book one via cold call, and as well to close one restaurant per day for each of them. This led us to a 2020 where we closed about 100 restaurants in 150 different locations. So it's decent, you know, for all of 2020. But I said, you know what? I want to do 1,000 restaurants this 2021. And I increased our goals by 10x. So really, instead of one demo a day, we're doing 10 demos a day. And instead of one close a day, we're doing 10 closes a day. It's January 13th, and we're at 32 different locations across the GTA with a total of, I think we're at like 60 different restaurants. So it's amazing. It's really, really cool. We're launching at the end of February, and our sales team is going ham in being able to actually do that. So I'm really excited for our app to launch at the end of February, but I don't think we would have gotten there, and I don't think the business would have launched if I didn't apply some of the things that I learned here in the 10X rule over really the last 13 days. What did I not like about the book? Around the end, it kind of got a little bit repetitive. There was certain things that Grant Cardone repeats, and I think he's really trying to drill in that idea of 10x action. It will really get you faster to your result. 10x action, 10x result, 10x goals. But really, besides that, it was an amazing book to read. I would suggest this to any person, any leader that is looking to be successful. It's not a must read. I personally wouldn't say this is like a must read in terms of the books that I've read, but this is definitely one of my top, I would say, I would put this in my top 100 books. For those that really want to have that application side of things, there's a lot of things that I did learn that I loved. I would give this book a solid 8 out of 10. I'm actually not that, you know, I'm not very I don't really criticize a lot. I actually put everything like an 8 to 10. Maybe if I really don't like a book, I'll give it a 7 or a 6. But, you know, this book specifically by Grant Cardone, I definitely give it an 8 out of 10. And if you're really looking to increase sales, I think this is, as a salesperson, I actually would put this in my top book, one of my top books to read as a salesperson. But just in general, I think it's an amazing book. Cardone, I love his voice as well. So I actually listened to the audiobook as well. And he has kind of that Texan slang. It's pretty funny, that Texas twang I meant. So it's pretty cool. I really liked it. And he adds his own personality in the audiobook as well. To be honest, I'd actually suggest listening to the audiobook as well and listening to this. And I meant reading this and writing stuff down. So if you liked my review, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna do a bunch of random videos of really tracking what I'm doing and where I'm going in terms of Hangry Group Inc. Really, I think this journey over the last 6 months, I would say, has brought us to a pivotal point where we're just like, you know what? Like, let's start creating content. Let's start doing a lot of different stuff. And I really want to document it because a lot of people are asking. But not only that, it's also for me. I'm building my own brand, So like, subscribe, follow me. I don't know. Go onto my Instagram, follow me, James in the Lab, Twitter, James in the Lab, Facebook, whatever else. And really, to cap off this video is a question. What books do you recommend to me that I should read or review, right? So if there's anything, any books that are in your space or in, that you recommend as well, feel free to let me know, right? Comment below, like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. First episode. Thanks, everybody.